on to this webinar, and those who are potentially students of our upcoming course. And I would like to welcome as well presenter of this webinar and instructor of the course, Peter Gubarevich. I would like to mention two portfolios of Peter's competencies. First of all, Peter is Windows Server Pro. He's working in the industry for almost 20 years, and he's working as MCT for almost or more than 15 years as well. So Peter is experienced and is a good instructor for those who are looking for somebody who can answer questions and discuss issues challenging IT professionals. And second group, Peter is holder of group of relevant certifications. Among all, the most important for this our course and presentation is he's holder of MCT, certified Cisco system instructor, EC Council certified instructor, and he's holder of Microsoft MVP in enterprise and security. And in the end, he is Microsoft Security Trusted Advisor. So both group of competencies qualify Peter to be instructor who are able to deliver high quality, high standard, high sophisticated technical training. Let me mention and summarize relevant information about course event, which pre-webinar is take place now. The name of the course is Practical Application of Windows Server 2012 Active Directory. It is 5-day course led by Peter Gubarevich. Delivery method is traditional classroom training in English language. It is public class type training regarding courseware and Microsoft Labs. Students will receive 2 authorized books, digital courseware, one 2410 and second 2411. After completing course, students will receive New Horizons certificate of completion. The course date is scheduled on August 24-28 in Prague at Wenceslav Square at New Horizons venue, and enrollment deadline for attending course is this Friday, August 14. 3 benefits I would like to focus on why to attend this webinar. What is the value of attending this webinar? So by attending this webinar, you have opportunity to meet instructor before training start, to discuss the instructor your issue, question and concerns in advance before training start, and get in detail the agenda of training. And that's all for my welcome presentation. I would like to thank you for attending this webinar and wish you to enjoy the webinar. The rest of the webinar time is devoted to Peter, and Peter, I would like to ask you to take the presentation and rule and to start your presentation to tell more deeply what training is about and what is the value of training we prepared. Thank you.
Okay, hello. I will present a few technical demonstrations. Today I will see the actual course flow, like what you do what you do and how I help you to achieve something in this course. Yeah. So let me share my desktop first. It's not for the desktop. I'm going to present a few virtual machines. Like, let me show you two programs. Present single program and this virtual machine of the domain controller. In fact, students will install and configure their own domain controllers, file servers, remote access servers, and workstations during this course. Okay, so and again, let me add some more virtual machine to this demonstration, like file server, and we will configure a few Windows Server services. I expect to have some Windows Server experience. Just in case, you can enable your microphone and talk to me as like you want. Yeah, okay. Continue presenting. Yeah, okay. Now I guess you see two virtual machines, and that's good. Okay. So during this course, we will install like DHCP servers, and let me present here how we're gonna do this on our virtual machines, on our Windows servers. So on domain control, I have installed and configured the DHCP server role, just as simple. Let me demonstrate to you once again how to do this on the second machine. Basically, I expect you have heard something about DHCP services, and we're gonna configure this in details as it works in my real environments. Because say I have a few companies that run thousands of machines, and on those machines we have some complicated configuration. Okay, so we're not gonna spend time talking, just simply blah blah blah. We're gonna execute commands, install services, configure services, and run configuration. Okay, so on the second machine, I will add role. This is going to be a role of DHCP server as well. Okay, I'm adding feature. Okay, guess you see my screens. Just in case you don't see them, please respond. Okay, or say, please tell me anyway if you see everything right on your screens at the moment. Okay. Just type something like, okay, I see you, or anything. All right.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Okay, I see the screens. That's okay.
Okay. So just stay with your microphone, because it's okay to hear from student at the moment immediately. Okay. So you have some Windows Server experience, do you?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. So in this exercise, we're gonna configure some scope and replicate it by using new Windows 2012 feature, DHCP failover replication. So I have configured some scope on this machine. This is quite simple. I have a few workstations that have already received IP addresses, and that's it. But you see, the issue is that in case this DHCP server fails, and that's it, the network is stopped, because of workstations and other servers and printers, and I have on my primary workplace like microscopes and different measuring devices will be prevented from obtaining IP address and disconnect from the network. So I want to install the secondary DHCP server, and this is not like just another DHCP server. I want to replicate my scope, because before Windows 2012, all the DHCP servers were independent, just simply independent, and that's it. So in case the first DHCP server gave away some IP configuration, another one just simply knows nothing about that. So, okay, I have configured role. Let me check if, yeah, that's it. The installation was successful, and I expect the service was authorized by Active Directory, because I have installed it by using Active Directory's user account. So let me check it on the other machine. Well, authorized, okay. Probably you know that beginning Windows 2008, DHCP services require authorization. Okay, now it's authorized, and this DHCP server knows nothing about our scopes, and that's good. In real environment, I have like 50 scopes on single server, and this is quite important to keep the business running. Okay, so configure failover. Oh well, I want to replicate this scope to another machine, and this partner, let me add it. This is going to be, okay, browse. This service is called Failover London. We are running some Active Directory in London division. Okay, let me connect and do it. By the time it connects, let me show you the part of Active Directory I have installed for this like fake company. So we have some computers located in 3 countries and users with multiple departments, and I'm gonna explain on this course why we structure Active Directory exactly like this, and say how we delegate permissions for our administrators to perform all the operations in secure manner, like not to give away the thousands of administrator accounts to everyone. Okay, so let me check DHCP files are alone. That's okay. So partnership has been established like this. I will do it to have maybe some load balance. Well, this depends. Say in our real environment we have replication to remote DHCP servers. So it means that we have some backup, and also we have configured multiple DHCP relay agents that support this process. Okay, anyway, let me type some password like shared secret, and 2 partners are gonna communicate and replicate this scope. Okay, so failover has been configured successfully. Let me check the second machine, and now you see that the second DHCP server has received the pool information and lease information. And I can also demonstrate by using some, let's say I have some Windows 7 machine. Let me present this machine as well. So this machine you see on your screen, right? And as well as the primary DHCP server. Okay, so this is going to be both the Windows 7 and the primary server. Okay, now you see 2 machines running. So let me renew my configuration. It's okay. I don't know which server we're gonna authenticate this request, because currently we have 2 DHCP servers in the single subnet. I expect this DC London machine will reply to this request. Okay. Oh, thank you very much. Let me check my network setting on this virtual machine. Okay. Okay. Now this one, machine settings. And just in case you have some experience, some good experience with virtualization, right?
Yes.
Like which one? You run the Hyper-V or VMware or something else?
Both technologies.
Well, okay, because say in my primary workplaces we have also multiple VMware clusters and as well as Hyper-V. During this course, we're going to talk about Hyper-V and exactly the replication and also the light migration of virtual machines. Yeah. Okay, so I have received some reply from the DHCP ipconfig all just to see which server has assigned this this address. Okay, that was the second one. Well, okay, will be the second one. Let me see if the first one knows about it. Yes, the first server knows about this lease, and also the second DHCP server. Let me check it. I'm going to present it as well. This machine. Refresh. You see that both DHCP servers know that exactly this IP address is listed. Okay, let me stop the service on on this machine. And now I expect, okay, this DHCP server is not working anymore. I expect the first DHCP server will provide everything it wants for the machine. So ipconfig release and renew once again, and I expect everything to be right and no network operation as interrupted. Okay. Okay, I have received the same IP address from this server, and let me check ipconfig all, and I see that previously it was the machine with IP address of 172.19.0.201. Okay, now this is another DHCP server that supported this operation. Does your screen resolution allow you to see IP addresses?
Yeah, that's
good. That's good. Okay, so in case say I run this server again, it will replicate the setting from the first one, and I can definitely stop this first one, and I think it's gonna be all right. So in our real environment, we have multiple DHCP servers replicating. During the course, every student will install DHCP. We will capture packets, and we will see how it works like. Okay, with relay agent and replication. This was currently really quickly, just simply because you see this is for webinar. Okay, for the course we will spend some 2 hours configuring all those services and testing the replication. Okay, so one more exercise. Do you know about application whitelisting?
Excuse me?
Application whitelisting. Let me write it.
Yeah, okay.
So, application whitelisting. Have you ever used it? No?
How what? I don't say.
Have you ever configured?
No. This is for me absolutely new, yeah.
Okay, let me show you, because I consider this is very important. In Microsoft official book, they spent only 2 or 3 pages, but we're gonna spend 2 or 3 hours configuring this system. This is really interesting thing. You see, there is a big issue, like users are downloading executables, like they install some browsers and torrents and unneeded software, even running with normal limited user account. Also, another issue is they, in many situations, they need to use USB drives, and you cannot prevent it because they exchange documents with USB drives. But they also are able to launch some executable from USB. Is it any dangerous or not? How do you think?
Yes, that's the problem.
This is a big problem because they can infect their computer with virus. This is done really easy. Let me show you this virtual machine. Okay, like I'm connected to some network resource like this file server. I have prepared quite few executables. Like I can launch this executable and you see it's running. Okay, I can launch some installation, and I'm doing this under normal limited user account. Let me check my permissions. You see, the UAC asked me for administrative password, but it will install 7-zip for my profile. Or even worse, let me execute this. This is some document, right?
Yeah.
In fact, this is application. Look at this. Let me launch it. Uh-oh. Now you see the big issue. Now all my personal files are encrypted. This is so-called ransomware encryption virus, which encrypts documents and wants money. Okay, let me configure something really easy to protect your computer and very effective thing. So I will do this by using domain group policies. So do you administer Windows domain? Are you familiar with group policies? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, I will configure this on computers level. In my real environments, all the machines run application whitelisting. Okay, I will create this GPO, like this is going to be SRP, workstations, a baseline. Okay. In this baseline policy, I will define applications that are permitted to run, and only. So I open computer configuration, policies, Windows settings, security settings, and software restriction policies. No policies defined. Let me define. Okay, so security level, first of all, disallowed, set as default. In this exercise, I deny everything. No software gonna run, except something. What exactly? I put it under rules. So I'll remove those rules and create from scratch. New path rule, I permit to run from Windows folder. Why that? Because this is system folder. I permit everything to be launched from program files unrestricted. Yeah, that's it. I configured that everything is permitted to run from program files x86. Okay, unrestricted. That's it. That's good. Because you see, in case you have some line of business application, this is quite easy. New path rule, and you permit some, okay, maybe like this, file server, London, data, and say database, asterisk.exe, like this one. This is also possible. In my real environment, this list is quite short, even for thousands of machines. And also I can assign hashes, which is even better. Like, let me point to some executable, which is located on file server on London machine. Data share and tools, let me like zoom it, the same. Okay, now it calculates the hash. Usually it's done quite quickly. Okay. It will calculate two hashes, MD5 and SHA. Okay, now it has calculated the file hash, and now it will permit this executable from any folder. Okay. The next question is like, what are executables? And you see the list of executables. I will only remove shortcuts. This is not executable. Okay, not ln key. I will also remove like mdb. This is Microsoft Access, not executable. Okay. Well, enforcement. I will protect all software files, also dynamic libraries. And all users, or all users except administrators. This is quite questionable, because who is the most dangerous user in the system? An administrator. Okay, so I will protect everyone. Now this policy is configured, and see again, everything is disallowed for exception of Windows program files, this database, and this hash. That's okay. So policy is configured and linked to domain. Now on this client machine, I'll execute gp update command. Okay. Now policy comes to effect. I will also reboot the machine for the first time. I will not reboot it anymore. But for the first time, for policy to come to effect, I need to reboot it. All right. And we will see the effect of this. You just saw the user was able to launch a virus, right? Now let me log on to this machine. Let me check if everything works well. I can run this program. I can run calculator. Yeah, it works. Notepad maybe, Microsoft Office, WordPad, everything works well. Browser, yeah, definitely. Because this policy only affects executables, not internet surfing, not email, not database connections, just simply executables. Now let me try to launch any executable from my desktop. I will download some executable like this installation to my desktop, double click it, and you see this program is blocked. Quite interesting. Let me launch this virus again. It's blocked. Okay, that's fine. Consider user inserts USB drive. A user will be able to open documents. Let me show you something. Like this is document. I will save this file on my desktop as well. On my desktop, like report.txt. Let me double click, it opens. Because simply it's document, it's not executable. It works. But when user tries to launch a virus, even from desktop, even from any location, it fails. Okay. Because this path, which is C, user, sphere, desktop, is not configured in policy. Okay, so when the user will try to launch a virus from an email, from which folder this virus is gonna launch? Say I have some attachment, email attachment, and open an exe file from attachment. From which folder this is gonna run? From temp. Okay, so you know this folder like temp.
Yeah, that's clear. Okay.
So I will copy something to temp, and it's blocked because it's not listed in the policy. But all other software will run smoothly because it's permitted. This permitted, and this software permitted, and that's it. So this is why I'm not afraid of ransomware, because it's not listed in my policy. Well, now you see the result of this policy, yeah? And during the course, we will configure our machines, our servers, our workstations. We will configure even email notifications. Say, when user tries to execute something like this, an event is written to an application log. Okay, thank you very much. I just simply want to run my event here, okay? So I'm opening Windows Logs application, and I see something from software session policies. I will filter this log by event 865. I see this warning that user Peter has tried to execute this executable. And in case some line of business application doesn't work, I will see it in the log. And also I'm configuring event notification. IT support guys receive this text by their email immediately, so they can quickly react on virus threat or when something's not working for a user. So this is not.
How you send it to email?
To an email. Now, well, this is quite simple. Computer management. Let me launch computer management. You see task scheduler, and you can schedule new task. Create task like on event, and the trigger is on event. And I configure events centrally from domain group policy, and say in case something happens, like salt restriction policies comes to effect, or account lockout, or some user has been created or deleted, or someone resets passwords, I receive notification quickly. And say on this event, I execute my own PowerShell script. I will give you an example, yeah. And this program, PowerShell script, extracts an event from event log and sends it to an email. This is done like that.
Okay.
So, say this is as simple, but say not for webinar at the moment, yeah. You see what we're gonna do on this course. Let me show you the agenda. I will share one more program. This is gonna be agenda of the course. I update this agenda. Give me a second. I'm sharing this program. Present programs. No. My Excel. Okay. I update this agenda after each course. Like previously, we haven't touched digital certificates, but during the last course, students have requested exactly certification authority and digital certificates. So we have spent several hours configuring the certification authority and issuing certificates and protecting our web services. Like, so you see my screen, yes?
Mm-hmm.
So we have installed certification authority, issued web server certificates, and protected IIS web service digital certificate. We have also configured NPS server and configured radios for Wi-Fi clients. You know what's that? Radios for Wi-Fi?
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so this is also what we do in this course.
That's cool.
Let me go through quickly. We are configuring virtual machines in Hyper-V and replicating virtual machines and also perform live migration. Then we install Windows Server and configuring disks. By this time I talk about the basic disk, GPD, and dynamic volumes, and we do it, we configure it. We also configure network roles like DHCP and troubleshooting, how to troubleshoot IP connectivity. Yeah, that's it. We plan Active Directory structure. I show how we build Active Directory in our companies and how we delegate permissions. Like in our IT support team, we have like 10 people, but only 2 are domain administrators. All others have delegated permissions. Like they can create user accounts in particular country, and that's it. They can manage workstation accounts in some particular country or company, and that's it. So we do it. Then we configure file services. Like, do you know how NTFS permissions work? So we go through NTFS permissions deeply. Also, I think we will be able to touch dynamic access control. Do you know what's that? Dynamic access control. No. Mm-hmm. It's like NTFS permissions, but it takes into account your workstation. Standard NTFS permissions know who you are. Like you are a user, member of some group, Dynamic access control also takes a look on what computer you are using. Like you're connecting from accountancy department. Okay, then you are permitted to write. So we also configure quotas, shadow copies, distributed file system, and a lot of time spent with file server source manager. Have you ever used FSRM?
Yeah, I don't remember. Probably not.
It's like in our country, it's not permitted to keep music on servers, also video files like illegal videos. So by using FSRM, we block music and videos on file servers by extension. Also, we can use FSRM reporting to have reports on duplicate files, on email files like PST files, how big they are. If any user, say, keep some executables in home folders, we also use FSRM like this to work with file shares. Okay, and a lot of time we spend to play with group policy. Like you want to install some software, not a problem, you use group policy. In fact, to go a little bit further, like which day, like this one. Do you use Windows Server Update services in your network? Mm-hmm. We also use an extension which is called SUS Publisher, which is able to publish applications. So we deploy like 7-zip, Adobe Reader, Java, and other software by using SUS, by using additional component for SUS. Say in case you don't have System Center, it's quite useful. And we also talk about and configure Windows deployment services, like how to configure and install and configure reference image. Okay, I'm installing some workstation, all the applications, all the settings, and then capture this image and keep on my server. And then I block any access to USB for our IT guys. They are forced to install workstations from WDS. They are forced to install install software by using SUS and so on. And we try to do a lot with group policy, like how to manage printer connections. Say in my primary company, we manage some 100 printers with group policy. This is quite useful. So I will demonstrate how to install print server and manage network connections with group policies. And other things which we are able to do with group policy. A lot of things. Like the list of exercises, let me show you 1 second. A list of exercises. That list was published for the previous course. Just a minute, I'm publishing this video. Present programs and this one. Okay. Now tell me if you see this screen. Okay. Does it show you? Yeah, okay. So quite typical. The first day we're installing Hyper-V, configuring routers from Windows servers, and installing Active Directory, sites, establish replication, I discuss FISMO roles, and so on. Then we manage network, Active Directory objects, also groups, like how to work with groups. This is quite a complex question, in fact. In our real environment, we have thousands of groups and delegated permissions to IT support guys to manage groups. So this is quite big question. So the next day we talk about file server and all the permissions and stuff. The next day we spent with group policy. We configure everything we can with group policy, like UAC, firewall, services, permissions, groups, quite big question, folder direction, network drives. I manage, even desktop icons are managed by group policy in our company. The primary target is to make workstation like a dump terminal. When user logs on to any workstation, he receives the working environment. He receives everything: programs, shortcuts, network connections, printers, and so on. This is quite important. Day 4 is for security. So we configure not simple account lockout. We're raising authentication levels and protocols. We configure auditing and play a little bit with audit. Like some software does not run under limited user account. How to configure it? And our primary target is to avoid using administrator accounts. Like no user should have any administrator privileges. Even administrators do not have admin privileges like this. So application whitelisting, big question, certification authority, then services, different services. We talk about remote desktop and how to provide remote assistance. Like user calls you and you want to connect to this machine and help him. So we have remote assistance configured and enforced. We install terminal server and publish applications on this terminal server. Have you ever published applications?
Not me, but I saw this.
But at least you understand what is it about. Okay, that's good. So then we configure SOS and deploy applications by using additional components like SOS package publisher. And also we finished by Windows deploying services. Yeah, the services to prepare the standard computer image and deploy to all the thousands of machines. Well, some students consider this agenda to be really big and quick. Like, what do you think?
Yeah, this is a lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff, and most of it is done by using group policy. Yeah. Well, now you see what is this about. Maybe you have some questions. Anyone has any question about this? Just in case. Okay.
Or I don't know if you discuss about you said you discuss about the structure of Active Directory.
Yes, exactly.
How to make structure. If you make, I don't know if you think of making the structure by company organization, but I see you have structured maybe in this example Active Directory by location.
Yeah, in this example by physical location. In some companies we structure by company, because say you have some big company which unites like 5 companies. So we split this Active Directory in a single domain. Everything works in a single domain. We split organizational units by companies and then by physical location, like countries, cities, and then departments. And the main purpose is to delegate permissions. Like we have dedicated administrators in each country So I want to delegate some authority over workstations to check administrators. So I right-click delegate control, and I permit them modifying computer accounts, or say we manage user accounts centrally, or I can delegate some control over this department, over this country to check administrators. I do it like that. And everything is configured to lower administrative permission usage.
And then group policy you don't add on the organization units or these folders, and you applicate group policies through the groups?
Not really. This depends.
Because, for example, if you have construction guy or engineers, normal engineers which working in CAD softwares and something like this, and you want to put some group policy on these guys through all the Czech, Lithuanian, and Ukrainian, you use the groups probably.
This depends on policy. Say I have. Let me show you. Just something easy, yeah, and simple. Like I will link some user policy exactly for users. Create, okay. What's gonna be like application configuration? Something.
Yeah, for CAD computers, yeah. For example. Yeah, okay.
Say I want to put some shortcut on desktop, yeah, and or configure registry or put some file for user, okay. For this shortcut, new shortcut, let it be some URL to our business, to some business system. Like we have a lot of web-enabled systems in our
something.
Yeah, so I put on desktop and name some web application URL HTTP HTTPS. Also, we configure everything with SSL, something test Windows NT and then in common I execute targeting, like when user is member of some group, or say user belongs to some organizational unit, and this is gonna be OU human resource department.
Yeah, okay.
And in this targeting, you target all the human resource departments throughout the company.
Yeah, okay.
And also say additional rule like and computer organizational unit, the computer belongs to is somewhere in Latvia.
And naming of computers, you recommend to name computers by user?
No. Let me show you. I cannot connect to my primary company at the moment, but say quite simple example. We have some PC, which means normal workstation, and something like this. This is the name of my PC, and this is inventory number, which is assigned by accountancy. When you buy some hardware, they register this number in Navision system, Microsoft Navision, and I assign this number to a unit, like computer unit.
Yeah.
And then I have a lot of group policies that connect users to computers, and I can figure out any time. Okay, let me connect to my company. Don't tell anyone, okay? I will try to connect if it is gonna work, because on my current screen resolution my VPN client does not work. Okay, it's not working. My VPN client refuses working, so well, I'm sorry.
No problem. But I understand you don't name the computers by the users.
Never.
Never.
Because our primary target is to make computers or users make users computer independent.
And also servers you name like this, named like this, or
servers, you? It depends, like file server probably and location. And say WDS Latvia or WDS Riga. This is quite simple. And then you can use those names in scripting in policy. Say policy can be targeted like end computer name is like asterisk Riga, or a computer name as like file server, anything, or even like that. So wildcards, yeah, definitely. So the name, yeah.
Yeah, but this is different. You use the role of the server in the name or the location in the name.
Yes, in many scenarios, yes.
And if you change the role of the server, you must change the name.
Oh no, this is because we have, say, in VMware farm, we have hundreds of servers. When you want to move some roles, say you just install new server. I have hundreds of servers in my cluster, so we can just simply install new server from scratch, like SQL for something, for some SCADA system. Yeah.
I understand. And if you move the virtual server from Riga to some other location, you must change the name?
This depends, but you see, even if I change the name, okay, let's change the name. It doesn't happen very frequently, but we have group policies that connect, say you have some personal folder located as P personal on some file server Riga, right? And the users, yeah? So I can update the policy and it's gonna point for you to Praha.
Oh.
And that's it. And
yeah, I understand. I only ask if you, what's your experience with this? And in the groups, you're talking about the groups, and the groups, you have some experience with role-based access control?
Of course. Like, you see, okay, file server access, let's be for Latvia or for Czech Republic, something. So we build the file server structure. Let me show you something like, you have some shared data disk. We establish the country and then departments, the departmental structure. Okay, departments. And then under department, we have some structure like public, where everyone can read, and something like specific folders.
Yeah, I understand. That's clear.
And then I do it like that. We configure permissions on this and this level, most specifically on the second level. And the fourth. This is 1, 2, 3, and the fourth level, and that's it. And we have, say, 50 departments and hundreds of folders and terabytes of data. And we only configure like this. And we do it like this. Say you have some folder certificates. You register some public certificates for this department. Okay, we have two groups, like SAD certificates read and SAD certificates write. So a lot of groups like department, object, permission. Let me create a single group, like SAD or maybe LVSAD certificates read, and this is going to be local group and some write group, okay? Main local. And then we group users by departments and add the departments to this resource group, like departments.
Yeah, and never put user directly to this group.
There are exclusions, always there are exclusions, yes. But the key management is like we only configure permissions on a single level, on level 3. We only have 2 groups, read write. And say for write group we add department and maybe someone, okay, let it be like SAD department, and let it be some single person. Yeah, this depends on person, like VIP person or some external person.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
And I have also delegated control, like in administrative groups. We have some group like file server managers, LV file server managers, yeah, and I have delegated control to this group, to this OU. So we have some person who is the member of file server managers, and this person is allowed to modify those groups. And users, exactly department bosses, right, send us, say, some document, the access control matrix.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like some department, resource 1, 2, 3, then some person 1, person 2, and person 3, and then they put say W's, and reads and cells, and then the person who is under this file server management group approves this and manages like that.
And who I don't catch the final words. And
the person who is a member of appropriate administrative group, like file server manager, he approves this list and assigns users and groups to those resource groups.
And somebody write it by hands from this table to this?
Yes, and we keep records in our special folder, like this. But group policy enforces those permissions.
Okay.
This is done by using GPU. And some person has delegated permissions to those groups. And there is someone.
Yeah, I understand.
Like this one.
Yeah, that's interesting. Okay.
Well, basically we have finished. I expect you don't have no questions anymore. But if you have, you're free to ask. No problem.
Okay. No, what I have question I ask. I mean that's clear. Thank you very much.
Okay. So see you next time.
Okay.
Ata.
Bye bye.
Ata.